All right, folks, we're on day 2 of this Ram Doge smashed in wrecked rear axle repair. Just to recap, this thing got crunched in pretty hard on the passenger side. The rear axle was tweaked, and they sent me a new one, which is over there on a pallet. We got the old one out yesterday. Unfortunately, I've had to kind of pause and order some of these stabilizer link control arm devices because all of these have taken a hit. So I'm kind of on hold for that, but I can still get that other axle over here and lift it up into place and at least get it moderately secured. I can probably hang it off of the shock absorbers and leave it sitting on its on the stand, and that should be okay for now until my other parts arrive. That being said, let's move it back up. All right, so filming had to come secondary to safety, so I didn't grab the cam for that, but we got it on the jack, lifted it up, and I've got one shock bolted into it just to keep it stable, and we've got another one in on one of the control arms over there just to keep it stable. Like I said, these guys are getting changed, so I'm not going to do too much with it, but I can strip off all this extra hardware and nonsense that's installed on it that will need to go away. I can also get the brake cables back on, and I can get the brakes switched out, so that's what we're going to do today. Alrighty, I need to get this cut off parking brake cable removed. These are an absolute bear to get out. Oh, not this one, it's been cut off. Cool. Well, when they're not cut in half, they're an absolute bear to remove. I didn't show it earlier, but what you've got to do is depress this spring and then hold it, then remove these little, or depress these little tabs here, and then pull this thing out forward to get it to release from the forks that are holding it in place. And I'll demonstrate this piece right here, lining one tab up with the little opening, depressing the other tab, and depressing the bottom tab now, and it should swing forward there, like so. But when it's under spring tension and it's fighting to pull itself back into place here, that's quite difficult and most unenjoyable. All right, next up, I gotta lose all these brackets that don't need to be here anymore, because the original cable for the vehicle has those brackets attached to them. There's that one there, and I think there's one more up here. All right, let's head over here and fetch this passenger side cable, and we'll feed that up and over the axle where it goes. I've got to be careful not to do anything that's too permanent, because I still have to pull all these locating stabilizer arms out. Okay, the cables run across the top of the differential. I'm just going to get a couple of these bolts in to keep it located where it goes. If I can get the thing in there. There we go. Maybe. No. Fail. Can't do it. Go in there. And this one bolted on, I believe it was right there, like so. Yeah. Click. All right, and the end of this cable swings up and around. That goes in like so, and this is the hardware. So what I've got to do is pull this spring out. There's probably a tool that's made for this, and I don't own it. And okay, it's in position, cables installed. I'm gonna skip over this next part. You guys have seen plenty of it, but I'm gonna go ahead and get all these brakes and stuff thrown back onto this. Alrighty, next up is gonna be placement of the drive shaft. And it's got witness marks on where it goes. I can't reuse the, well, it's got 2 bolt patterns, but there's witness marks from the yoke that says which bolts are used. There, I got it out. Now I don't often utilize it, but on an application like this, I will be reapplying the thread lock compound. Smear it right in there. Oh, come on. There we go. Thank you for going in. Next. And thread lock is not a substitute for torque, so I will be applying torque manually with a wrench after I get all of these bolts run down and seated. That one's slowed down a lot. Must be extra thread lock. The old thread lock. It's probably gooped up in the threads. Have no fear. Okay, almost enough torque to break my wrench. Just kidding, about 80 pounds I think. Don't quote me on that. I know someone's gonna look the spec up and go, no. Oh! I'm applying good and tight torque spec. Click. Okay, that's in. That's gonna help stabilize this assembly until I get the rest of these bars installed, which I don't have again. I'm trying to think of what else I can cobble together on this just to keep making pace. Oh yeah, the springs. I can get the springs installed now. Okay. In order to do that, I think I gotta let her down a little bit, like a lot of bit. Keep in mind the shocks are bolted in, so it can't fall out and kill me. See, it's bolted in there and bolted in there, which is good. Okay, I think that's far enough of a lean. Let's see if I can get these springs installed. And I don't have a spring compressor, so sorry guys. Hello. Okay, spring, go into your home. That's fit. Okay, that's in now, and we'll go and move over and get the other one set up. And once I jack this axle back up, it'll start to seat these springs. The isolator came off. It's just a rubber pad, but you always want to line, see if you can see it. There's a mark, a witness mark where the spring rides on the isolator, and you want to line that back up with the end of the coil on the spring. There we go. Okay, let's raise this axle up a little bit. The jack was foot lever activated. I raise it up some and make sure that the springs are centered where they're supposed to be. And let's check this other side. That one's a little off center. Let's just give it a tug. There. Okay, everything's looking good. Let's go up some more. See the axle starting to straighten back out. Okay. Well, I guess now is the best time to get the sway bar back on. Oh, looky here, we're missing a bump stop. The insurance guys didn't bring me one of those either. All right, all that stuff's together. Loud noises. As I was saying, now that that's all together, I can get these ABS/wheel speed sensors bolted in, and we will get the sway bar bolted on next. Click. Got two more over here. There we go. Now it won't sway, it's safe, and it's stable. Again, still waiting on parts. But while we're back here, I guess I can get that big lateral link installed. Wrong size. All right. This is the leftover mount from that piece that broke off, and look at how squished and bent that is. This thing got hit so hard. Comparing it to the new one, clearly you can see it's not exactly the right shape. And if I can turn your attention over to the left, we've got one more eyelet to install. Now, I'm not going to be tightening any of this down until I can get it on the ground. It'll change the angles, and I don't want to bind up any of the rubber bushings. All right, folks, I guess that's gonna be a wrap for this installment. There's nothing more I can do until my new parts show up. I'm not gonna pull these out until they get here, because I want to make sure that they're oriented properly as I install the replacements. So it looks like this is gonna end up being 3 parts to this series, which is fine because you guys are crazy and you watch everything I post. All that being said, as always, I'd like to thank everybody here for watching this video. I truly do appreciate it. The only thing I would ask of you is that if you liked this video, please let me know about it by tapping that thumbs up button. If you did not like this video, please feel free to test your theory in the comment section down below. And of course, I have to remind myself to not forget to remind you guys to not forget to have a great day. See you guys later. See you tomorrow, Doge.